All right. Welcome everybody to yet another LSSW. I am super happy to see everybody here. I know we are competing with Mars this morning, but so bonus points to those of you who showed up on time as people start to filter in this morning. I just want to welcome everybody. These LSSWs are super important to us. I keep saying that Artemis is not a thing that NASA is doing. It is a thing we are doing as a community, and it's going to take the whole community, and we really need this input from the community in order to maximize the science we're going to do with Artemis. So I really appreciate each and every one of you, and I'm really excited for the conversation we're going to have today. I'm going to turn it over to Jen Heldmann to give you a rundown of what's going on today, and then we'll get started.
Sure, thanks, Sarah. And just want to echo Sarah's thanks for the community coming, because this is very exciting, because we're talking about Artemis missions and we're talking about enabling the science. So we're very excited to talk about figures of merit and getting to landing sites where we can really do that high priority science. So in order to get those discussions and to get the inputs that are most valuable that can be used throughout the process that Sam Lawrence will be telling you about this morning, just a few technical notes. So you made it to Teams. Congratulations, you got in. For this portion of the first portion of the LSSW, we will be taking questions through the Q&A box. So you should see a Q&A box up on the top of your Teams window. Please put all your questions in there, and then we will moderate those and go through those in the Q&A session. The chat itself is disabled for this session, so don't use the chat. At this point, you do not have the ability to turn on your cameras or your microphones. So we'll going through these plenary talks. You will have that capability when we go later today into the breakout sessions, because that will be more discussion and more interaction back and forth. So we just want to make sure everybody was okay with how the Teams was set up. If you have any questions on either the presentations, the content, etc., or just the workings of the workshop, please use the Q&A chat. And in the interest of time, I just want to turn it over quickly to Dr. Barbara Cohen, who will give us a brief overview of why we're all here today before we get into the talks. So Barbara, do you want to say a few words?
Yeah, hi everyone. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks, Jen. Jen is the Deputy Project Scientist for Artemis 4, and I am the Project Scientist for Artemis 4. And we are very happy to welcome you here today to the first community-focused Artemis 4 workshop. Artemis 4, as you're going to see throughout the morning, is going to be a landed mission to the moon, similar to Artemis 3. We've got cool new science, exciting new science that we're going to want to do and we're going to want to accomplish. As Sarah said, we want everyone to be a part of this. So we, through the LSSWs, we solicit our input from our community. We use our community documents. We take all of those things very seriously as we're going through planning. And this is absolutely one of your chances to give us that feedback that we will be able to incorporate into a very successful mission. So the way we're going to talk about things today is just general principles about how NASA selects landing sites. It's got some similarities to things that you might be familiar with from other landing site selection activities like Mars. It's got some differences. We don't get to control everything, of course. It's a lot more complicated and more safety focused with humans on the vehicles. So Sam's going to tell you a little bit about that process that we use. We'll talk about the science that we're planning to do with Artemis 4, or that we've started to plan to do, I should say. It's just the beginnings of what's going to be a long conversation with all of you and with all of the Artemis enterprise to build on big picture science questions that we want to accomplish as a science community and fit them in with the unique opportunities that are afforded to us by Artemis 4 and beyond. And then we're going to have the breakout sessions, as Jen said. Those are our chances to really dig down into why we want sites that we want. So that we can feed them into the landing site process. So I urge you to pay special attention to Sam's talk coming up and how we actually do the landing site process. And when you're thinking about great landing sites for the science that we want to do, and we really thank our plenary speakers for focusing the science we want to do, when you think of great landing sites, boy, wouldn't it be cool to go here and see that landscape and pick up these rocks and do those experiments? Why is that a great landing site in your mind? What's so special about it? Why would you want to tell human explorers to go there, and what would you want them to do? And then the why of those is really what we're after. Those are what figures of merit are. Those are telling the engineering community and the safety community why we want those landing sites, why they're so important to us, why they're critical to get our science. We want to pull those out of your mind in the breakout sessions and be able to give those over to NASA. So before the breakout sessions, we'll give you some more information on the figures of merit. We'll tell you the report, the deliverables that we've got. But we really are excited for you to be here, learn more about the science, and then really participate in that discussion. So thanks for being here. Welcome. And Sam, we're going to turn it over to you to talk about that landing site process.